Hello, and welcome back to Buzby Gaming. I'm Tony, and this is a Reset Podcast. I think this is our 12th episode, if I can speak correctly. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's number 12. And what I'm going to talk about today, it's kind of something that I touched on before, but I'm starting to see it affect more and more things that I like, or I used to like. I guess it's probably should use past tense now. All three of these things I'm going to talk about. I'm going to kind of keep this a little bit short because I got a little bit of a cold. That's why I'm only doing the one video this week. Well, two if you count this, but this is more of a podcast, and it is a podcast. It's not really a video. I'm just editing my voice over some gameplay. But the three things I want to talk about, and like I said, they all kind of feed into each other. One, excuse me, I'm probably going to be coughing and clearing my throat a lot. Can't really help it. But first off, is like social media is getting really sensitive these days. And I don't know if somebody at Facebook has it out for me personally, but it's not exactly fair the way they divvy out bans and things like that. Like I watched the new Halloween movie, Halloween Ends, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but I am going to talk about it a little bit. No spoilers. But I watched this movie on Peacock because I have a membership, and it came out on that app, streaming service the same day it came out in theaters. So I was like, let me watch this. So I had my brothers over, and we sat down and we watched this movie. It was boring. And this is where I'm moving into this. I'm going to bounce back and forth between the movie and what happened on Facebook. But my one brother fell asleep right at the end of it and didn't even get a chance to see the ending. So if you're going to go see a Halloween movie, you expect to see Michael Myers. That's the main draw. You expect to see him, just like if you go to Friday the 13th, you expect to see Jason Voorhees, A Nightmare on Elm Street. You expect to see Freddy Krueger, and so on and so forth. But Halloween Ends, I shit you not, has Michael Myers in the movie for a total of about 15 minutes. And there's like three-fourths of the movie, maybe even a little bit over three-fourths. That it would be a different fraction, but I'm not really good at math, so I'm just going to say about 80% of the movie, 90% of the movie, they're building to this like red herring, and it turns out to be a red herring. And it was kind of like, well, it could have been cool if they found a way to pull it off. But it's just, it's this whole 90% of the movie feels like a CW or WB TV show episode. Like, I swear I'm watching this TV show, or watching this movie, excuse me, it's basically the same fucking thing. I'm watching this movie, and the whole time, I swear, like, I'm hearing, like, off in the distance, faintly, the Dawson's Creek theme. Like, that's how it seemed to me. Like, it was just like, it could have been just one of those crappy shows in the late 90s, early 2000s. That's what 90% of this movie was. And I said on a post on Facebook after watching this, because it sucks. Of the three movies of the new trilogy, this one is the worst one. Halloween Kills got a lot of hate, but Halloween Ends is the Dark Fate, like how what Dark Fate is to the Terminator franchise. Halloween Ends is the same thing to the Halloween franchise, only worse because it's not even entertaining. They literally could have taken the last 15 minutes of this movie, edited onto the end of Halloween Kills, and just ended the franchise there. They could have ended the movie right there. No need to go forth. And they could have saved everybody 2 years of waiting and a lot of disappointment. And I posted on Facebook the same spoiler-free review or whatever. The exact words I said was, I'm happy I got this on Peacock for, basically for free. And because if I went to the movie theater and spent money on this, I probably would have punched the ticket clerk. I think anybody who thinks this is a good idea for a Halloween movie, for a horror movie, deserves to be shot and hung. And YouTube banned me for 3 days for saying that. And I'm pretty sure it's the shot and hung part of that comment that that got me banned. But those of you that don't know, that is a expression that has been around for, well, before I was born. It's kind of like don't spill over cry, or don't cry for spilled milk. I almost said it wrong. Man, I got a lot of cold medicine in me. Excuse me. But yeah, they were really kind of bitchy about that, and they took me off Facebook until the 18th because I said the word shot and hung. And keep in mind, this is Facebook, so I can browse Facebook for 5 minutes and I can find porn. I can find like really gory videos. There's a video. Okay, there's 2 videos that I could actually link to in this, but I'm not gonna. But there's a scene where a real life video, security footage of a guy who's robbing a bank, and he pulls out a gun and he shoots the security guard, or misses the security guard. I can't, the video's not entirely clear, but the security guard shoots this guy right in the jugular vein, and he is spilling shitloads of blood all over this bank as he's chasing after the security guard and firing every shot that he has in the gun and missing. And this dude bleeds to death in the entryway of the bank. It is a real video. It is gory, bloody, violent, and guess what? It's still fucking up on YouTube. It is up on YouTube currently. But me saying the people should get shot and hung for thinking that this movie was a good idea, even though it's an expression, I get banned for 3 days. There's also groups. I'm part of multiple gaming groups. I'm part of multiple, video groups like for YouTube and for Facebook, and scary movies and all those things that I have hobbies with. I'm a part of, and there's people that like to troll in these groups, and what they do is they post videos of like porn and shit. And the admins are kind of like absentee. They don't really care. They don't really look after anything. But you would think that YouTube, in its infinite wisdom of sensitivity, would flag these videos and take them offline. But no. Not only do they not do that, they are still up to this day. I literally can just like go right into the group, scroll down like a month or so, and I'll probably see like 6 or 7 of these videos. Another violent video I've seen that's still up on YouTube. So I'm bouncing back and forth from violence to porn, back to violence. But there's another one where there's these people that are fighting in the street. They're literally in a fist fight. And they're in the middle of the street, and somebody gets tired of waiting, so they back their car up down the street and then plow into these people at like full speed. Like 60 miles an hour, these people will just like, you can see the sweat and dust get knocked off of their clothes. Like, this is like a violent... People died. There's no, oh, well, he just had to go to the hospital for a few days. No, that motherfucker and about 3 or 4 others are dead. And that video is still on YouTube, or still on Facebook. And so words are more harmful or more hurtful than showing videos of pornographic images or violent death scenes that actually take place in real life, that are real deaths, not movies. They're not movie clips. These are real, and they're on Facebook. But I get taken off for 3 days for saying a common saying. So the sensitivity not only is way too fucking high on Facebook, it's not distributed evenly. So I think, like, the last one I had, I said something about a video game. A video game saying from like Halo or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. No. Sorry, it wasn't Halo. It was Saints Row. The Saints Row games. I said that you ripped the alien's head off and jumped the shark. It was a mission in Saints Row 4, I believe. And I got banned for that because I said rips his head off. It's literally describing what the fuck the main character does. And I got banned for that. Yeah, it's really... I don't know if an AI is triggering these, or flagging my posts or what, but it's like, it seems like they're assigned just to me. Because all this other violent shit could be allowed, but I say a few words and people get offended and their vagine starts burning or something. I don't know what the fuck the people's problem is at Facebook, but apparently you can murder someone live on camera or fuck the living shit out of them and post it and you'll be A-okay. But if you say a word that offends somebody, you better look the fuck out, because they're going to swing the ban hammer so hard it's going to knock you out of your fucking socks. Twitter, for example, they allow you to say whatever the fuck you want, so that's kind of like a little bit better, if I'm being honest. They give you a little warning like, oh, this couple few words that you say in there may be misconstrued or may offend sensitive people. Would you like to change it? And you can straight up say, nope, I don't want to change anything. Freedom of speech, bitch. Send. And that's what makes, Twitter a little bit better. Instead of having, it gives you a little warning, allows you to post still. And if someone complains, then it's a problem. You see what I'm saying? Whereas with Facebook, they just see a word and ban you outright. They don't wait for anybody to go, oh, yeah, that was offensive, I'm going to report them. Instead of doing that process, because everything has context. You can say something really fucked up, but as long as it's within the context of a conversation, most people ain't really going to give a shit. But Facebook doesn't even allow the possibility of that to happen. There's no dialogue interchanging. It's just, you said a word I don't agree with, ban you for 3 days. I think the second time you get banned, it's for a week. And the third time you get banned, it's for 30 days. And then after that, I think it's like 60 or something like that. And then it just drops back. It like rolls back to, I don't believe there's such thing as a permanent ban, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past Facebook. They're becoming a bunch of sensitive bitches. I think that, Mark Zuckerberg needs to, pull the stick out of his ass and just allow people to speak the way they want to. And if people have a problem with it, allow the people who posted it and the people who have a problem with it to figure it out themselves. Or if you get enough flags on a certain video or comment or whatever, then take it off. Then give the person a ban. But just to ban people outright is just downright fucking stupid. You're taking away not only people's right to free speech, which is what we have here in America, but you're also taking away the freedom of expression. You're taking away the freedom of dialogue, the Freedom of Information Act, even in some cases. I mean, I don't understand how they could just be that fucking insensitive. But I mean, they're not like they're worldwide though. They're not based exclusively in America. So I guess they gotta kind of, ride the lightning with everybody. But I mean, there ain't nobody in fucking Egypt or Japan or China reading my posts. It's people that are on my friends list because my page is private. Yet Facebook feels that they can interject their own fucking opinion and just take me right off of Facebook for 3 days. Next time it'll be a week, then 30, then 60. But see, here's the most fucked up part, is that they took off my private account because that's where I originally posted it. But also, I obviously run a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube page linked to my Facebook. They shut that motherfucker down too. All because of something I said on my private Facebook. So, if this was a money-making venture for me, which it's not, but if it was, then they would be directly interfering with my ability to reach advertisers, viewers, and collect pay, all because they feel the need to, rub some calamine lotion on everybody's words and make sure that they don't say anything offensive or something that people might disagree with. That's kind of how dialogues work. That's kind of how debate works. You say something, and someone has a counter opinion, and you discuss it. That is how people change their opinion. That's how people grow as people. And if you take that away, then you're not really doing anything other than making sensitive people more sensitive. You're making assholes more of an asshole. You know, you're not creating that natural ebb and flow. Sorry, I'm all plugged up. But that conversation, that dialogue between two opposing sides is normal. It's something that should be done. That's why there's debate class or debate teams in high school. It teaches you how to argue in a healthy way, obviously, but I mean, it teaches you how to come up with points, what people worry about, and how you can, just have a conversation, have a back and forth, have a sit down. That's why I think people now are just so offended by words, is because they don't know how to defend themselves against them. And it's not even, I wasn't even personally attacking anybody. I just said a saying that's really common. At least it's common in my circles. It's a joke of a saying. Obviously I don't think that anybody who wrote that movie deserves to be fucking shot or hung. It is a joke. It's like saying, I want to light my shoes on fire because, I tripped over myself. It's not the fucking shoes' fault. You're not going to go out to your garage and pour fucking gasoline on them and light them up on fire. It's a fucking expression. It's a joke. It's something that should be taken lightly and not seriously. But Facebook doesn't even allow that to happen anymore. So, of course, I appealed this decision with Facebook. I wrote them a long 3-paragraph thing saying that they're killing freedom of speech, and that if someone disagrees with it, then we should take action then and not now. But obviously nobody at Facebook actually gives a fuck, because they're a bunch of fuck faces, and they're not going to actually do anything about this. They're not going to appeal my 3-day ban, because by the time somebody actually gets a chance to read it, the 3 days will be up anyway. But this is how Facebook is getting now. They're that sensitive. So you can't say anything at all, anything inciting violence. But if you want to post porn, or you want to post someone getting blown up with a fucking rocket launcher, you're going to be A-okay. I promise you that. Jesus. God bless America. I'll tell you. You can show fucking violence, real life death on a public forum. But if you say a word that might get stick in someone's craw, you're the evilest person to walk the planet. And that's one thing I think that is really, aggravating me more than anything nowadays. That everybody is so fucking sensitive about the dumbest shit. You can't make a joke like, you can't even be a fucking stand-up comedian nowadays. Because here's the thing. Here's the little rub that I want to tell you guys about stand-up comedians. Is that everybody is fair game. That's what makes it funny. When everybody can laugh at each other. It doesn't matter your race, religion, your sexual orientation, anything. Everything is fair game. So you can't go to a comedy show, laugh at all the jokes about everybody else, but then when it's your turn, you turn into a little bitch and have to write a fucking petition and open up 9 groups and try and fucking cancel a comedian because you didn't like the joke he said about your part of the show. If you're gonna laugh, you're gonna laugh at everybody. That's the way it works. It's a fucking joke. And really, it doesn't make you seem like people are afraid of you. It's like, there's some people out there that are like, oh my god, if I get canceled, that's the worst thing ever. You know what? I'm not afraid of getting canceled. You know why? Because Twitter and Facebook ain't a real fucking place. I live in the real world. Yeah, I show the entertainment out there, and it does help me get out a little bit to more people to use social media. And I was bitching about Facebook, themselves being hypocritical, but it's not a real place. It doesn't have any forbearance on my real life. So if anybody tries to cancel me, I'm just gonna fucking laugh and keep doing what I'm doing. I thought it was the funniest shit ever that, Will Smith smacked fucking Chris Rock, and it was headline news for like 3 fucking months. I never understood that. I'm like, they're dudes. I'm telling you, if that smack really hurt him that bad, he should fucking like do a swan dive off the Sears Tower and do a thumbtack, because a slap doesn't hurt that bad. Even if, you know, if some dude slapped me, I'd punch him in the fucking nose. We'd be brawling right there on stage. That's just, you know, he just grabbed his face and was like, wow. And Will Smith was in the wrong. Yeah, you know, it's a joke, and he got offended. And that's kind of the point here, is that everybody's overly sensitive. But there was no right side of the coin on that one. You know, it's like, yeah, it was a joke. It should have been taken as a joke, and that was it. You know, but he toes the line for his wife, so he has to smack the shit out of somebody who insults her. And it's just bullshit. It's all bullshit. You know, you can't make a joke nowadays. You know, Dave Chappelle got fucking, like, lambasted and fucking drugged through the internet because he made a joke about transsexuals. And I'm sorry, but, you know, everybody's fair game. He made jokes about white people. He made jokes about black people, Asians. He made jokes about gay, straight. And if you got offended by the transgender part of the program, you're the problem. You're the problem. Everything is fair game in comedy. Otherwise, you might as well not even do comedy. Everything you say or do on stage should be taken as a fucking joke. End all, be all. And that's what kind of brings me to this new form of media, how everything is kind of being censored to stop people from being offended. And it's making movies, TV shows, video games, the radio, basically, any form of fucking media has been touched by this and has been negatively affected by it. You can't say certain words because a certain small amount of people in the population, it's a small amount, but they're very fucking vocal, will stop at nothing to make sure your career is ruined over saying something that they didn't agree with. But instead of actually sitting down and having a dialogue about it, or just, you know, taking it on the fucking chin like everybody else does, they got to decide that, you know, an apology isn't good enough. An apology won't get my panties back out of a bunch. I need you to quit your job or be fired. And I think that's really fucked up because, you know, freedom of speech still exists, but apparently not here, not in America, not in 2022. You can't say or do anything to certain groups of people, even though everybody should be fair game. That's what freedom of speech is. It's all encompassing, but not for one particular group. And I think that's pretty fucked up, in all opinion, all honesty, in my part, anyway. But yeah, I just wanted to come out here and say this on this beautiful Sunday morning, or I guess now it's Sunday afternoon by the time I post this. That yeah, I just don't like the way things are going. And Jimmy Carr has a great joke that I laughed at the other day. He's sitting down with in this joke. He's like an old man, and his grandkids asking him questions, and he's like, "Excuse me, non-binary elder." I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but it was like, that's the way we're going to go. Everybody has to change because 20% of the population has to stick up their ass. I don't get it. You know, it's either you work your fucking way in like everybody else, or you should sit down and shut the fuck up. You know, the whole world shouldn't have to change to encompass one small group of people. It's like, you know, America is a mixing pot. The world is a mixing pot now. I mean, we're more connected now than ever. And I think that we should all find a way to get the fuck along. But, you know, brute forcing your way and canceling people or silencing people to try and get respect or get your way is not the way to do it. I think that it's gonna eventually, because there's even starting to happen now where certain subsects of these groups are turning in on each other. And that's eventually what's going to happen, is that they're going to make so many fucking rules and you know, non-words that you can't say, that eventually it's going to start cascading into their own fucking group, which, like I said, is already happening, but they're going to get in a hiff. So I think that cancel culture and the current culture as it is a fucking joke. But anyway, that's all I have for you guys. Take care, have a good weekend, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.